How do we convince our target real estate agents, loan officers, and builders to want to come and do business with us? I want to share a few concepts today that we're currently in the middle of in a training with my sales team. I'm going to bring you up to speed on where we're at, and hopefully by the end of this, get a few of your ideas in the comments. So there's a story going around social media right now that I think is pretty cool. It's the story of a world-renowned violinist named Joshua Bell. Many of you will probably have seen this story recently. So as the story goes, Joshua Bell, a guy that people come from all over to listen play. He sold out a theater in Boston, a well-known theater. This is a theater that sells seats on an average of $100 a pop. Joshua plays music that people love. He plays it on an instrument that's estimated to be worth $3.5 million, probably because it's in his hands, his expert hands. It comes with all of the training and the skills and whatever natural talent as well that comes with this musician. He spent his life likely building this type of a skill set. And here he has the ability to go stand in front of large crowds and sell them out for them to listen to his music. Don't know how much income was generated from that show in that theater. But a few weeks later, he shows up in the New York subway to play his violin. This is a social experiment that he wants to put on. Has given no notice. Nobody knows he's coming there. Nobody knows who he is. He's sort of incognito. He's not dressed for a performance. He's just dressed in normal casual clothes. But he pulls out the same violin that he played at the theater, estimated at $3.5 million in value, plays the same music that he played in the theater, opens the case, and lets passers-by contribute whatever they would like to contribute to his music. According to the story, he played for 45 minutes and earned $30. $30 for 45 minutes worth of music. Probably not that much less time-wise than what he had at the theater, where he was able to sell that crowd out at a high dollar amount. So the question here is, what's the difference? Why the massive disparity in income and contribution from the crowd to his music between the theater and the subway system? What's the difference? Some say that it's venue. Others say that it has to do with his confidence. Some even say that he ought to be happy with $30 in 45 minutes because that equates to a pretty decent wage, all things considered. I don't know if I agree with that last part, but that's part of the commentary on this story nonetheless. And I think maybe my favorite comment that I read so far about this story is one that pointed out that appreciation isn't always measured in money, that at the end of the day, he's doing this for appreciation on some level. And that's not always measured in money. I love that comment because that's actually a true statement. I think it really boils down to what is the intention of the artist? What did he set out to accomplish? But to keep the focus on the principle we're after right now in terms of sales and customer service for us as escrow officers and sales reps, I want to bring one principle home. Of all the life lessons we could learn from this experience, because there are many, and there's a lot of really cool ones, the one that I'm after is this: the difference in terms of what we're looking for as escrow officers and sales reps if we try to relate this experiment and this story to what we do professionally. The difference lies in the preparation and in the attention of his patrons. You have to ask yourself, what is it that we're trading for? In the theater, he was trading for income. And I know everybody's gonna say, well, he plays music because he loves to play music and it makes him happy, and I'm sure that's true. And hopefully that's true for us as well as professionals. We do what we do in the title business because we enjoy it, we love it, we're proud of it, and we feel like we're adding real value to people's lives. That's all a given. But what is it that separates these two principles? In the theater, he was trading for income. In the subway, perhaps he wasn't there trading for income. Perhaps he was just trading for happiness in people as they passed by, that they would hear his music, they would enjoy his music, and it would brighten their day. The experiment didn't expound on what his target was for each setting, but we have to make some assumptions here. If that was really his intention, to trade for income in the theater and happiness in the subway, I would say he hit his mark bullseye both times. If the roles were reversed and he was just shooting for customer happiness in the theater, but income in the subway, then he missed his mark. His targets were not set properly. In other words, his patrons were not properly prepared for each venue, nor did he have the proper attention from them in order to transact. At the end of the day, everything in sales and business is trade. You have to ask yourself, what is it you need and who has that right now? For us as escrow officers and sales reps, we need deals to close. So who currently has those deals? And what is our value proposition to convince them to trade those deals for what we have to offer? And just like the musician in the theater, if we're trading for income, we have to target people who are prepared with a deal, looking for a top-notch escrow team to shepherd that deal through. And they're currently, and this is key, they're currently focused on that endeavor. They need this now, they want this now. If those people going to the theater really enjoyed that musician's music, but they didn't have enough time in their schedule to attend on the night that he was performing, no deal. Or maybe they really wanted to go, but they didn't have the funds available to buy the ticket. They weren't prepared for that, no deal. But when you can find the right combination of people who value the music, are free to attend on the night that you're playing, and have the funds to be able to purchase your ticket, now it's game on. You've got a deal in your hands. Let's find every one of those people, make sure that they know about us and when we're playing, and what our value proposition is, so that we can go make the transaction. And if you don't have all those components, then you're merely playing to passersby in the subway, which again is not all that bad depending on your target. But if you're out there to transact, to further your professional career, to close deals, to further your increase in your living, then you can't play in the subway. So I think this entire training boils down to a couple of key questions. How do we identify professionals who currently have deals to place? And how do we win their attention so that they'll pay good money to come listen to us play? This will be a fun discussion to develop. I'd like to see your comments in the comment section. Hit me back with your ideas and let's keep this conversation going.